All right, account review time from a scrub who didn't quite make it to Emperor. Just didn't give myself enough time at the last day. I think it was doable. So I'd like to do this by class. I think that's the most fun. It also kind of breaks them apart in different segments. So we'll start with knights. And this is just to give you guys an idea of what I'm working with. Not a lot of champions built, and also to kind of see how my account evolves as the seasons go by, because I think it's kind of an interesting thing to look at. Adventurer Ross, he's the hero. He's the guy. I love being able to use the main character. He's also kind of busted. I started first picking him a lot, especially at the end of the season. And I got a slow tanky build. Some weird effectiveness and effect resistance. I could change that, but he also needs the effectiveness for PvE. So we chillin'. He's my boy. I haven't changed him in a long time. I really like this slow tanky build. It makes him great with Aureus because he soaks up a bunch of damage. He's got enough HP to heal it back with his S3. Just all around fantastic tank. Skip over the DPS nice real quick, just because I want to focus on damage mitigators first. Make a little segment. Yeah. Okay, Charlotte. So on Instagram, I posted that my Charlotte is not cutting it. Not doing enough damage. Then I realized she was like +7, and I was missing 25% damage on both S1 and S3. So I gave her Molus, and she crushes now. I played against a guy, and I basically 2-tapped his whole team with S1 into S3. It was amazing. She's fantastic. I love bringing her out when I can against Landies, against Stennies. It feels so good. She's also got symbols, so even things like Violet can be pretty easy cleanup for her. Crow. I think Crow towards the end became my secondary knight of choice. I mean, when I first picked Ross, it's hard to contest. Some people are contesting other things other than Ross, but some people take it from you. And I started using Crow because I also started using Destina a lot. I was learning a little bit from KAHM, who used Ross Destina a lot. And I thought Crow, because you could revive him at low HP, it'd probably be pretty good synergy with Destina. But I think only happened 1 or 2 games where I didn't get Ross, especially on the last day. So Ross supremacy, let's go. Armin's anti-cleave, just big boy damage or big girl damage. I kind of forget she exists a lot of times, to be honest. And so maybe I could be winning more games with that. But it just feels bad picking her into Ran, who just puts up immunity and then protects the team. And then I just want stuns. I like her being a stun bot. That's why I have her on counter set. And she just can't do that when they have immunity. So I'm going to have to think about that. But I have been driving Edward a lot into anti-cleave. So maybe if I draft Ed, then we strip with after ran S3s and then the counter time. It's there might be something there. This unit is disgusting. Oh my goodness. I love Senya though, and I'm so happy she's she's good. But this unit is disgusting. This unit can auto win matches. Just absolutely insane. I like the effectiveness build because unless you play against a team that has a lot of S1 strips, then you're probably fine if you just provoke the crap out of them. I don't know what else to say. You lock down the opponent. If you don't know, she has 100% chance to provoke when attacked. She's got provoke on her S3 now, so she can provoke the whole team, and then she gets counterattack buff. Then they attack her, and she provokes back with 100% chance. That's what we got effectiveness to hit the Soul Weavers too that don't have a lot of ER, and they're stuck in provoke, and kind of a lot of games they'll just slowly lose. It's disgusting. I feel kind of bad for my opponents when I do this to them, but I also win, so that feels good. Bellion has been weird to me. I kind of I flip-flop because I'd like to put her on counter set, but I also really like how injury kind of makes her really annoying for Aravis. I consider her a unit that slows down the game. She's not really looking for her to carry the game. I'd like her to slow down the game, so injury kind of helps me benefit the longer the game goes. And she also turns off souls. So that's kind of where I see her drafting. I forgot to preface at the beginning, I'm a turn 2 tanky slowdown player. So I like to draft a knight, and I like to draft people that slow down the game, and I really like having a soul weaver for sustain. That's like my preferred playstyle. My ideal playstyle is 2 soul weavers because I'm degen like that, but it's really hard to make it work, especially with so many good like fake soul weavers like Cowrick, and so many just like absolutely busted units like Angel of Light. So usually I'll have a slow down unit, and Bellion is one of the best. More backup knights, we got Pillis. I was drafting Pillis a lot into Conqueror Lilius for a bit, and that would worked out really well because I draft Pillis and then ML Cowrick, and then I kind of have cleanses for both sides. I have kind of cleanse set up for Conqueror Lilius no matter what happens, and so I kind of liked how that played out. And I had pretty good success with it, and then sometimes I didn't, so I don't really know what was going on there. I could probably use to put a few more skill ups for her. And then Drummer Crozet, I didn't actually use him a lot. Since I first picked Ross a lot, it's kind of tricky because I'm still working on my anti-cleave, to be honest, my anti-cleave strategies. Because I tend to pick 3 supports pretty early, and then by that time, I haven't really figured out all the time if they're going full cleave. And I've already picked 3 supports. I can't pick only 1 DPS and Troublemaker Crozet, so he doesn't work out. But I love him. He's my highest HP unit, so he will deal with strays and then hopefully come back with my Scuffed Holy Sacrifice. It was in the powder shop. I thought about getting it. I didn't. And then let's look at Soul Weavers, because that's like the other clutch part of my playstyle. Or not clutch, but like the main part. Deanne here is good. She's super fast. Well, she's not super fast, but she's my fastest unit, which might blow some people's minds. 250. I mean, she's just so good at cycling. The faster she goes, the faster you get more value out of her. So I figured having her fast is good. If I have to have one unit fast, it's probably going to be her. I just don't draft her a lot towards the end because she's not that great, like, into aggro, because I get outsped. Into cleave, I get outsped, and she's not that tanky, so she's not providing a lot of use. So she only comes out when I've kind of like figured out what's going on, but when she gets going, she really gets going. So like a standard v standard match, when she comes out with guns blazing, ooh, it is strong. Elena is anti-aggro, specifically against Closer Charles. I had a lot of trouble with those Closer Charles peoples for a while, and this Elena definitely helped put the brakes on them a little bit and potentially was a force ban for them. We got Amelia. This one I haven't really tried. I actually didn't use Amelia a lot towards the end of the season. I think she's decent, but yeah, I need to figure out how to use Amelia a little bit better. I think she's great paired with Destina, so like that's probably the best 2 Soul Weaver combination out right now. But I just didn't really get a chance to use her. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see about next season. I'm not sure about the build either because I didn't really get to test it. This is my Destina. It's really kind of scuffed. It's not very good. I don't farm Wyvern, so this is like basically Wyvern gear that's been left over from when I started the game. And I probably farmed Wyvern for like 3 to 6 months. I have no idea, but there's not a lot of Wyvern. Basically, there's like 2-3 good speed set units, and that's it. And this is probably not one of them. I definitely want to change the build up, but I can't decide if I want to keep the high effect resistance or go like super tanky. So then she's like really good into aggro cleave, and she's like less good as a actual cleanser. But I think that might be okay. I don't know. I can't decide. Let me know what you guys think. The other thing that I really like her on Guardian Ice Crystal, but I wanted to try her on like Unfading Memories or things, or Rod of Amaryllis. But I feel like the timing doesn't work as it's read, because it says after using a skill heal. So I figured that it would revive and then heal, but I need to do some testing, but I don't think it works like that. So Guardian Ice Crystal it is. Rowana is pretty self-explanatory. She's tanky. She's 6-starred and everything because I like having her for auto Hell Raid, which they just changed. So yeah, but anyway, she does her job when she does her job. And then Ruel. Oh, I love Ruel so much. I love Ruel so much. But I didn't use her that much because it's kind of easy. I mean, Hua Young is out there. I've been banning Hua Young a lot, but I didn't feel like I feel like I really needed other units to slow down the game. Like Ruel's really good in a slow game, but she doesn't slow down the game, and I had trouble slowing down the game. So I don't know if that makes any sense. But she is great. I really like her. I'd like to start using her more. Try to learn a bit from Six Duck. That's something I have in mind as like a video series, is like trying to analyze people's playstyles and learn from them. So hopefully get some of that going in the future. But that's the Soul Weavers. That's kind of like where my like bulk of my brain goes for playstyles. And then let's get into the DPS units, the tank units, the fake Soul Weavers, all that good stuff. Edward Elric, Eduardo Elricu. He is amazing. He's just the GOAT, I think. He's won me so many games. He's also a clutch part of my anti-cleave plan, which was Edward and Rimuru. When they draft Ran, I just pinch Ran like that. So then if Ran uses the S2, then he gives me attack buff and immunity to my whole team because of Rimuru, and he also probably gets one shot if he does an S3. If he does S3, then Edward Elric strips the immunity that he gave, and then also does all sorts of mean stuff to his team, like silence, decrease attack, provoke, and that can just win you the game on the spot. So that was kind of my anti-cleave plan, to just pinch Ran with Rimuru Edward. But like I mentioned, you could also probably pinch him with Edward Armin, Edward and Green Armin. But then the thing is, if he does like S2 into S1, then you don't get Edward, you don't get the strips, then you don't get the Sun. But then you don't get defense broken, so maybe it's okay. I'll try it out next season. We got Ravi. I used her a little bit, not too much, but she's, she does what she does. I had a few games that she almost clutched out. Oh, please ignore the artifact. The artifacts are kind of scuffed right now. She was on Crimson Seed. Oh god, I've been farming side stories too much, so she's supposed to be on Crimson Seed, and we don't have free equips, so I'm just gonna chill for now. We got Ram anti-cleave. My anti-cleave is all scuffed right now because I'm too scared to pick a bunch of counter units, because I've had people be like, oh, you picked like counter units really early, let me just pick Rowana and Lionheart Surmia, and then I get boned because they switched to a more standard draft, and I just can't do any damage. None of my damage sticks. So yeah, I don't like when that happens. So there you go. That's Rem. I'm actually considering taking her off Sigurd Scythe, because I think Sigurd Scythe would be better on people like Ravi, because sometimes you want to gain life, but you want to S3, and then that's like perfect that you just gain life when you S3. And I also feel like the lifesteal is actually not really doing too much these days for Rem. Like, really, you just want her to like kill people. So that's kind of my thought. We'll play around with that again next season, of course. Rimuru, Proof of Valor, he's just there to not die and take some people out. Get some big boy damage on him. Pretty big boy damage on him. Usually one shots squishies with the S2, and then another one with the S3. And that's really it. I don't try to use him as a solo carry, probably because he doesn't have Molas on S1. If he did, maybe he could be a solo carry, but he doesn't have enough damage output without those to be a solo carry. Little Queen Charlotte, I was using her a decent part in the middle of the season to just attack a Ravi. The problem is when we go into standard and they have a tank that has Aureus and they have Proof of Valor a Ravi, which is so common these days. She doesn't really one-shot the a Ravi, and then a Ravi has so much more value over the game. So I feel like I stopped picking her a lot towards the end. But maybe she'll make a comeback. We got Apocalypse Ravi. I don't use her in standard because she only has +5 Molas, which I should probably change. But she does her jobs, anti-aggro, anti-cleave. She can still one-shot the things she needs to one-shot. But I also love the skin, so hopefully we'll put some more Molas in her in the next season, and she can become a little bit more of a mainstay in my drafts, because I do think my stats are pretty decent. They're not like mind-blowing, but none of my stats are mind-blowing, let's be honest. Meteor Cowrick, he was my homeboy for most of the season. He kind of still is. I was Ras Meteor Cowrick the majority of the time, and then Destina would come out towards the end. Maybe sometimes I'd be like, the aggro might be rough, but the thing is, my Meteor Cowrick, he is thick, boy. He is thick. He's got so much defense, so much HP. A lot of times he can tank his way through some aggro drafts and then still set up the attack buff or still set up the attack down with barrier. So I don't feel too bad about drafting him into aggro or cleave, which is why I pick him second usually. Unlike, like a really fast one that might be squishier, I feel pretty happy with where my Cowrick is at tanky-wise. Then our last warrior is designed a little bit anti-cleave options, but I really kind of don't like her, to be honest. The Butterfly Mandolin is suspect, but I really didn't know what else to put on her, to be honest. And, sometimes you get a random cheese turn, and you pop off. But I didn't really know what to do with her. She felt really bad, because kind of like with Ran, you kind of draft her into Rand, right? And then Rand would be like, yeah, just not S3. And then she's useless. And then she just dies. She has defense scaling, right? So she's low HP. She's super susceptible to things like Watcher Shuri. They don't have to be like good Watcher Shuris. She gets owned. Probably because mine's like too weak, but I don't know. I haven't figured the right balance for her. And I just don't feel great about her, to be honest. But, I'm always open for some new ideas. Thieves. Thieves is basically anti-cleave gang. Yeah, anti-cleave gang. Let's go. A lot of my anti-cleave revolved around Kayron, BBK late in the towards the end, the double immunity. But people started catching on and pre-banning the Kayron because he was like a menace to cleave. But this is actually really important to note that towards the end of the season, I would ban Hwayoung and Aravi because a lot of my anti-cleave was Kayron and BBK, and they cannot deal with Aravi. So I really needed to put the aggro and cleave players in a position where they were all in on squishy units, and I could just blow them up. And that's why I banned the Aravi, and also because, I don't have molded on mine, so I never liked using her. Yeah. Celine, also great. I drafted her a few times when the opponent likes to pick they pick DJB, Conqueror Lilia's first picks, and then I could just slam Celine and then make them scared. Hopefully ban her, but she's not really strong enough to be a solo DPS for me. She's just it's really easy to target her down, squish her up. Because if you draft her into that situation, then it's really scary because they can dual attack with Conqueror Lilia's into your Celine, maybe one-shot her because she's not that tanky. And if they don't one-shot her, she gets fat barrier, and then DJB follows up with a barrier break. And it's bad. So she's not an all-around counter, but she does her job. And she's definitely not a solo carry. So she's kind of like a support unit when I pick her. And then I have Violet, who's, when I'm just I don't know what to do. Let's just RNG. Let's just gamble on it. And also, units like him are absolutely busted in my mind because they basically auto-win against their elemental advantage. So if the opponent picks too many blue, too many ice units, Violet comes in and he is a auto-ban because they will lose if they let him through. So that's why I really like units like him. He's not really built yet, but Remnant Violet seems legit in the next season, so he will get built most likely, unless something crazy happens. And that's it for Thieves. So we've got Rangers and Mages next. We're saving the best for last. Only a few Rangers. Seaside Bologna didn't really get used much. One of my issues with my account is that all my blue DPS are counter units. So we've got Rem, we've got Seaside Bologna, and we also have, spoiler alerts, Aria. But they all counter. So if the opponent has a lot of fire units or already counter, they pick I don't know how to say this. Say they pick Ed and they already have Lionheart Sirmia or something, then I would love to counter with a blue DPS to put pressure on the Ed, but I can't because all my blue units are counters and they will activate Lionheart Sirmia, which is no bueno. So that's something I'm looking to fix in the coming season as well, probably with a Shu. I know she counters, but she also does massive damage on her turn. And then Landy is the queen. She is so good. I've flip-flopped around on her artifacts a lot. She used to be Proof of Valor, thanks to Call 888. But now she's on Bloodstone. I found like the Proof of Valor was really good, but I haven't been drafting as many Soul Weavers, so I was lacking the same sustain that I used to have. And there's I had a lot of games this season where they would just barely not kill my Landy, and then I would S3 and she'd heal back up, and then they just like couldn't kill her, and then she'd counter, and then she'd S3 and then she'd heal back to full, and they'd just be like, "No man, I can't keep up with this. Nah man." But I haven't changed her build to like the actual gear. It just changed the artifact around every once in a while to fit what I'm doing. Yeah, I don't know. Guiding Light, I feel like doesn't matter too much to me because she's so tanky. And then the Queen, Pirate Captain Flan. Flan, my favorite unit. Both like personality wise, I love her. The Flandy, I love Flandy. They're so cute. But my, I told you right. We're not farming Wyvern, so this is really really not good in my opinion. But you know, we do what we do. I definitely want to rearrange her gear because she got major buffs. I'll probably put my carrot gear on her. It's something I looked at a bit earlier, but I'm also experimenting or playing around with the idea because like this is the bombs are insane, but there's a new artifact from the side story that just came out that is burns. It's a ranger artifact. It gives burns, and it can activate on counter. So she might be reasonable on counter set, which would be pretty sweet. So kind of thinking about it, but I'm so excited to use her more and more and more. And then let's go to the mages. Let's go mages. Archdemon is my queen. She's the one that like I used the most this season. Just an absolute beast. And Researcher Carrot. So let's start with Researcher Carrot. She's good against Bellion. I'd like to maybe swap her off of book just because I think she's good against Bellion, and when she has the books, you know what I mean. But having the book is so good because I can pick her into Landies and she just usually just pops them. Even with the 3k HP, she's a bit slower than my Emil Carrick, so Emil Carrick will boost in front with the Warhorn sometimes. Be given the attack buff, and then with attack buff, Research Care pops, and like she's so tanky, it's hard for them to really stop that from happening. We got Arya. I think my Arya is so weak now. Definitely low on the HP side. She could use more. I haven't figured out what artifact to use on her. I felt Kalaj was pretty good because she does do some debuffs. And then you just do more damage. I think I could always change it to book, you know what I mean? But I don't know, man. I don't know. I thought about Dingus Orb just to give a barrier. I thought that'd be funny, but she doesn't have much attack, so I was like, that doesn't seem worth it. Yeah, I'm still working around with what artifact I want to put on her. I could put on like Fairy Tale Tenebra's artifact, but that's on my Archdemon, so I might have to get another one if I want to do that. Angel of Light. This one is weird. The effective resistance, I don't know how I feel about it. The speed, I think, is okay. The tank stats are really not what I want. I really want her to be way more tanky. So what might happen is that I eventually swap effect resistance for just tank stats. Just like pure tank stats, which is what I like to do, I think. And that would be pretty sick, I think. The book is also odd. I'm experimenting. I really like the book because giving that access to soul burns can really help a lot. But then also, since I want to slow down the game, I also wouldn't mind having her be on like proof or something, so that she just like kind of wastes more time. That's a weird thing to say, right? It's like I'm just trying to waste some time, to be honest, and she dies too fast. Sylvan Sage Vivian. She is my queen of anti-aggro. She just the 70%. Oh gosh, she's supposed to be on book. You just don't look at that. Don't look at that. She's missing a Molas too. Oh my goodness, dude. I need to put Molas in her because I picked her a lot. I picked her a lot last season. Like when I say a lot, I picked her a lot. I picked her into Iravis when I wasn't banning her. She just, when you combine her with Aureus, she's just so hard to kill. You almost kill her, and then with the lifesteal, with the S3, she just healed back up to full, and just does so much AoE damage to the team with Soulburn. She's really, really good against the Spectre Tenebria. Oh, she's decent into Spectre Tenebria. Because of that reason, she's okay, only because Spectre Tenebria has a soul burn, so it's really easy for them to like pop all the focus stacks. But like, how, you know why? You know why? It's because of these stupid freaking Baby Mouse insignias and Heart of Hypocrisy. All the units I want to build, Baby Mouse insignia, Heart of Hypocrisy. I'll show you at the end because we're almost done. Our Demon Shadows, the beast, the queen of my account. Maybe Pirate Flan will be the queen of my account in the future, but for now it is Arc Demon Shadow. This unit is absolutely insane. You just seal everything you want to. All her like kind of counters are like not really counters because you can seal Rowana. I mean, I have effectiveness, so I can seal Rowanas. I can seal Lionheart Sturmius. I can seal whoever I want to. I can even seal Solitaria. So. Which has happened before. But this unit is insane in the membrane. I think the hardest counter is Rowana with Stella Harpa, and also just people with immunity is really obnoxious. That's why I pick Meteoric Howard so early, because I think he's like the biggest block to Arc Demon Shadow, because the 3-turn immunity is like so hard to get through. Because you're not sealing, so it's harder to get your extra attacks. It's just bad. I recently switched her over to a faster build. She was on like 190 before with like a little bit more tank. But I thought, you know what, like the way I'm winning the games with her is definitely because she is going around. She's cycling around super, super fast and just getting all those extra turns. It also works out pretty well because this boosts her like a little bit faster than my Destina and my Ross. And I was always really, really annoyed because like Ross would go right before her, and then you would be like, okay, I'm an S2, and then like I push up and I kind of get my turn. But it'd be so much better if like I was just fully taking advantage of the CR boosting, the 25% CR boost. If she goes before Eros and then Eros boosts her up afterwards, or Destina gets to push her up, it just gets like, you just get the extra turn faster. And that matters a lot when you're trying to get to the 5 focus. So I think this speedier build is a little bit better. And then Spectre Tenebria, mine is slow, but she will blow up anything. And that's what she's there for. She's gonna blow up anything. She'd blow up more if I had the, pen set, but I think the immunity's fine. Just helps from getting debuffs with her being so slow. And it's okay. So yeah, I don't know what to say for her. She's just a beast when your opponent doesn't pick enough AoE damage, or she can force them to pick more AoE damage, which might not be in their best interests, or just forces them to pick a certain type of unit, which you're fine with because you're carried by other things. So yeah, Spectre Team is dumb. She's just insane. Okay, so let's go back. Let's look at some units that will hide favorited, and then we will look at units that I want to build, and we show you the problem. So you already saw, actually we can't have favorited because we have these two. So okay, so like I don't have enough moles on there, right? We went over this. Baby Insignia, Heart of Hypocrisy. Apocalypse Ravi, why is there no moles in there? Oh, that's what, Baby Insignia, Heart of Hypocrisy. That's crazy. That's crazy. You know what else I've been really itching to build? Milim, because she is an evasion unit like Violet, who has an element, which means when you set up the increased evasion against green units, they literally can't hit you, and it's like auto win. Oh, wait a second. What? Baby Mouse Insignia? Heart of Hypocrisy? Are you kidding me? So that's like 3 units. There's another one hiding around somewhere. I know it. I just know it. Was it her? Yeah. Yeah. That's right. I wanted to build Destina. A Baby Mouse Insignia, Heart of Hypocrisy. So Destina got the moles. Sue me. So I'm working on it. I've been spending a little bit extra energy each day to grind side story, try to get some more Baby Mouse Insignias. But I don't know where this Heart of Hypocrisy is going to come from. But that is it for the account review. A little sneak peek at what units I might want to build. Another one on the list is Alencia. She, thank God, is... Oh, no, I forgot. Lindsay is also baby mouse. Just hard of hypocrisy nonsense. Every unit I want to build is these freaky catalysts, and it's ruining my mind. I'm losing it. If you got some baby mouse insignias and Heart of Hypocrisies, send them over. So enjoy Epic 7. Keep on having fun. The new season is starting soon, so we'll be making some RTA content again. And like I mentioned, I'd really like to do some playstyle analysis. I think that'd be some really fun content. So I'll catch you around. Peace.